Alright, so I got some more parts here. So here's some exhaust studs and the gasket. Probably just go ahead and get the studs in there. So I'm going to put these nuts on here. Give me a nice thing to torque these down. Try not to do it too tight. I don't know how good these nuts and studs are, so I don't want them, I don't want to break them, obviously. I don't want to mess anything up here. So we'll torque the nuts down to these. I won't torque these all the way in there. We've got the intake and the carb. So, says I think a 26 millimeter intake, which should be, I think, 2 millimeters larger than the one on here, and it should actually go this way. But as you can see, that's what I was afraid of. I couldn't find a reasonably priced one for a motor with this size, so you know, one like this intake, and I'm sure you can probably see why. How could they get one that big that does all that? So that's probably why there isn't. This one should be better though, so I'd imagine it'll still work the same this way as long as we have clearance. And we do, but just. So this says Mikuni on it. I'm pretty sure it's a knockoff Mikuni, just because I got it for like $20, and all the ones I could find that were supposedly real Mikunis were much more expensive than that. So I'm assuming it's not real. Why on these gaskets did they give them all so small? That doesn't even make sense, does it? It doesn't, not to me. All right. So now that's trimmed to clear everything. Let's put these bolts in. So this is larger of an opening than the original. I believe the original is like, well, crap, you can see it right here. Difference in size. This is 26, I think, and this is like 17 or something. Much smaller. So this new one's much larger. So it should allow a lot more airflow into there. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. I'm hoping it'll be a good pair with the big bore cylinder that I got in there. Now let's see how this will fit. Oh, Jesus. Not quite. I'm gonna have to trim a little off this plate here. Whew, that'll clear it. Since this isn't large enough, I'm going to have to try and I'm going to try and make it large enough. Or at least close to it. It's like a restrictor plate. That's disappointing. And that'll go there, and then I'll need bolts, new bolts. So let's measure, let's get some length so I can order some bolts. All right, 24. So I'm gonna want at least 30 so I got room for a nut. All right, and that's that. Now this will wait again for more bolts. All right, I've had for this guy something come in now. So guess what? Chain tensioner! Yay! Ah, screw it. Let's just rip this thing. All right, so now let's go ahead. Let's get that one out of there. And pull it out. There we go. Now, let's put the new little one. You'll notice it has two different angles, and I pulled that one out so you can't really tell, but you can kind of see by the residual buildup of plastic crap that points up. Big spot, little spot, and it goes by the curve here. So you can always use that as a guide. I'm assuming it probably wouldn't fit the other way either, so. Let's get it in there. And now, you can see the old one was like that too. It had this little bit that was knocked off by the case. And now let's get this one in. This one goes over here. This has no up or down. Both sides are the same, seemingly. Yep. So let's just get it in there. So now this one, like I said, it's the chain tensioner. So it's probably gonna interfere with this chain just a little bit. There we go. And then it's in there. And that's that. It should wear its own groove in there now as the starter rolls on it. The starter chain there. So we're done. Now I got to put this case on. Oh no. And I've got some schmutz on this here from when I was polishing the other day. Tell you what, we're gonna get it together and wipe it down because that's a little dusty now anyway. So let's see here. Got all that lined up. All right, let's make sure these little dowels go in their spot. There we go. They're in there. Now, before I torque everything down, I want to make sure that I want to make sure the new thing clears. What is it called? Stator. That's right. I want to make sure that new stator clears. So when I first put it in, there was a little bit of commotion inside there where it didn't clear, and it was rubbing on the flywheel. So now that I have this part, let's get this screwed on there where it's going to sit, but not torqued down all the way yet. Just get it nice and finger tightened. All right, I can hear the cylinder going, but not anything rubbing in here. So I'm just going to put it back at top dead center for the heck of it. So let's see. It just pushed out my hand, so it's compression. Oh, and there's T. So now it's sucky. All right, there's compression. F. T. Top dead center. All right. Well, it didn't seem to rub anywhere. So let's torque this down, and then this will pretty much be buttoned up for a while till I have something to put it in. So let's see here. This one needs to be 10 Newton meters. So right there. I'm not torquing them all the way yet. I'm just making sure everything's seated. Okay, now let's torque. All right, that cover's torqued on. So let's just finger these in. Oh boy, I might want to get some new ones. Don't want to make them too tight, they're just plastic covers. So let's just snug them so they're not loose. There we go. All right, those ones are there. Oh, yes. And now let's get this guy on here. He doesn't have to go on here yet, but why not? I'm gonna put these ones in there. Those others look like they might have been replacements at some point, but I'm gonna put these ones. And these I'm just going to finger tighten on, make sure they go into place. This is not yet ready to go, and I obviously still need to, I'm going to put a different gear on the back there. So I just want it all together, looking good. Make sure my cracked part works and it fits. And it looks that way. We'll gap it and such later, but for now, we'll just get that hole closed up. Actually, let's take a look. Should be top dead center right now, I believe. So we should see a 54. Yep, there it is, 54, top dead center. Perfect. All right, let's finger this guy in there. And that's it. For now, anyway. So, see you next time.